Roll call directors, Lisa Checkley, I'm present. Dennis Chopper.
Here.
Janine Bartle. Here. Timothy Blakely is absent and excused. And Joel.
Yep.
Kelly Carter.
Here.
We have one open. Okay, we're going to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
But at this time, we do have Ms. Olson on the phone who would like to speak to us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Christina.
I'll relay.
Can you guys hear me okay?
No.
No, they cannot. So she says that she's Chrissy Olson with the County Council for Kern County.
Okay, so I just kind of wanted to go over the job duties of the officers before we get into the election. Like, just real quick, going through the bylaws. In general, we have the chair, and what the chair does is they decide in consultation with myself, county council, as well as the district chief bill representative, Boyle and Wyatt, what matters need to be on the agenda, as well as running the meetings, opening the meetings, ascertaining whether there's a quorum present, and also adjourning the Rmac whenever the meeting ends, appointing committees, committee chairpersons, or filling committee vacancies, and ensuring compliance with the bylaws as well as the Brown Act. And in addition, coordinating with the District 2 supervisor, Zach Scribner. So that's kind of like in summary what the chair's duties are. The vice chair.
Okay, let me cut you off. So what she was explaining what the chair's duties is to coordinate meetings, assign everyone their duties, and directly deal with Zach and Laura Lynn. Okay, now she's going to go on to vice chair.
And so the vice chair, what that person does is they do all of the duties of the chair in his or her absence, and other duties as may be required by RMAC. And in the chair's absence, or if the chair is unable to serve for some reason, the vice chair will perform the chair's duties. So that may include preparing the agenda in some months if the chair so happens to be out.
Okay, and the vice chair would perform duties if the chair was out.
Correct, and then the secretary is kind of like the second vice chair, and the secretary kind of has somewhat of a hefty role because what they do is they are to take and transcribe the minutes of the RMAC meetings and make the minutes available after the meeting, as well as work with the chair interacting an agenda.
And the secretary's roles is to work with the chair and the vice chair in doing the minutes and the agenda. Correct, Chrissy?
So usually the chair and the secretary kind of work more so together, and the vice chair is kind of filling in if there's an absence.
Okay, gotcha.
So does anybody have any questions about those roles?
Board? No one on the board, anybody in the audience? No, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to get that out just to make sure that everybody kind of had an understanding of the roles and responsibilities of the officers, because we recently did work on amending the bylaws, which are set to go before the Board of Supervisors at their next meeting, which is January 24th, so next Tuesday.
Yep. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and have an election of officers for our board, because right now we have none. So, can we get a nomination for chair?
I'll nominate Joel.
Joel? Anybody else?
Are you interested?
No, no, sir.
Okay. I'll second that.
And I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
who was that made the motion for Joel?
That would be Kelly Carding.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
We need a
And
second.
then was there a second or, was there?
I will
someone else?
definitely second Joel. So Lisa, check it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And then,
And we're gonna move on to vice, oh, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Any opposed? You're all into that. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to.
Turn it over to Joel.
Oh, do I? Nice.
no, you don't turn it
No?
over to Joel.
Okay.
You need to finish the remaining election.
Oh, okay.
You do the vice chair and then the secretary, and then after, you do the motion, you take the vote for each of those, then it would be turned over to Joel.
Okay.
Okay, so then we will move on to vice chair. Does anyone,
I'll nominate Lisa.
I will nominate Dennis. Anybody, somebody answer?
Lisa, do.
Yeah,
Somebody
second.
Okay, so Dennis made a motion for Lisa. Kelly seconded it. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, and for secretary, I nominate Shanine.
I nominate Kelly.
Oh man, I'm gonna second Shanine.
Can you take on that responsibility, Shanine?
I can't.
And then I can
I'm
do.
sorry.
Okay,
Not this year.
that's what I just wanted to be sure that you could.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would be glad to consider it for next.
so I will second Kelly then. Yes. Okay.
Kelly. I will.
And then we just need a vote after the second.
I'm gonna help you.
Okay, and all in favor of Kelly?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. in. Okay, so we are setting the motion, so I'm handing the meeting over to Joel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So bear with me. This is a time for public comments, for any comments that the community has. Feel free to raise your hand.
Sorry if I not stand.
Yep, you're fine.
Anyway, couple of things. I gave Kelly some documents that I downloaded off the county's website. One of them is a specific plan for Rosemont that was written in 1988, and then not revised, but redone in 2008. Also, there's another one about economic development that once again was written by them. Some of the things that they talk about were grade separations, your Sierra Highway, Rosemont Boulevard, down at Avenue A, so on. There's a whole lot of things that are in there. None of them have ever been implemented or done. I think maybe this board ought to take a look at it, because there's a lot of information in there that should be done. They talk about building a youth hall next door to the chamber. The only thing that's actually ever been done out of what I read was the improvement along Diamond Street. That they had plans for other businesses in there, some of them franchise type businesses, large corporations to the regular global business people, so on and so forth. The other thing I'm going to ask is, don't we need to have somebody attend the meetings for East Kern Economic Development?
So that is my position,
Okay.
and I was out of state.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
I'm just asking.
Yes,
because
I
know
usually
that
do
there was
attend
nobody
those.
there from Rosemont attending the last meeting.
I was
I've
there.
never heard, well, I know you're there. You're at all of them. But I've never seen anything mentioned, any meeting, I've been here over a year now. Never heard anybody ever say anything about those meetings or any business conducted, you know? And I think we're here to hear what's going on, you know, and it's not happening. And the other thing I'm gonna say to you too is, I know, maybe I won't say that. Anyway, why don't we have someone that attends meetings with the Rosemont Community Services District? Conversely, them have someone here with us at our meetings. We need to build relationships that are not being built, or something's broken and needs to be fixed. The same thing with the school district. And I'm surprised she's not here tonight, but somebody attend their meetings to show interest in what they do and what we or this group could help do for them. And then the other thing I was thinking about was inviting heads of departments from Kern County to meetings, like the lady, head of planning, who lives right here in Rosemont, starting with her. Because I know there's a lot of people have questions about why are we not included in what's going on in our own community, and so on and so forth, and Public Works, all the rest of them. And get some answers from them, let them come to us. Because I certainly am not gonna drive 70 miles at night to Park Bakersfield and back to attend a meeting at 7 o'clock at night, you know?
Now, everything you just brought up, that's our goals for this upcoming board, is everything you said, we've talked about doing. Get more involved, building the relationships, and having department heads come down here once a month, have some quality speakers here to find out what's going on in Bakersfield that can come down here and talk
And
to
make sure we, I know, you need a website. You need advertising, you need the business to help you. Even, you know, maybe talk to the school about sending stuff home with the kids. I don't know, I'm just throwing things on the table. But something's gotta work, something's gotta help these people understand that you're here for them.
Exactly.
The constituents here, because I've had people, and it happened to me at the soccer, I went over and talked to soccer people. And I was talking to people that they were in their mid-30s that are involved with soccer, and I talked about, like, Rosemont Community Club, you know, and they went, what are you talking about? What is that? I said, really? And they said, we don't, I never heard of it.
No, in fact, Kelly's volunteered to take over our Facebook page and all that good stuff, so.
Well, you know, but there's a lot of people don't have Facebook.
So no, we're gonna be working on
They
getting
don't.
the information out
You know,
there.
and another thought, and I ran this by Laura, is Rosemont Community Services District. Once a month, everybody in this community gets a mailing called their bill. Why can't we talk to them about putting a copy of our minutes in with that bill that goes out to everybody in this town?
That we
or
can
in this
discuss.
community, and reach out to them.
So,
And, you
Wonderful
know,
idea.
yeah, wonderful ideas.
Really good.
you know, so, and, you know, like I said, I'm just throwing things on the table because I've had so many people say to me, what is Rmac? Wait a minute.
I hate to
Thank
cut
you.
you off, Dave.
Yeah.
I hate to
So
cut you
much.
off, but we are gonna have to move on because we are only allowed 3 minutes per
I
person.
understand that.
And Joel's not, so we do appreciate, we can definitely talk more about it. And if you can email me a list of what you said tonight, because we have discussed most of that list. So we can,
Email address for
I will give it to you tonight. Thank you.
it. I mean, if I had email addresses, I'd had everything you see in front of you to have.
I will definitely get it to you, it's public. I will get it to you, definitely.
Anybody
Thank
else? You in the back.
I'll come up here so you don't have to turn around. So I'm bringing this to you to get a point here. My name is Erin Hambrick. Erin Hambrick. I live at Jim Hill, adjacent to it, and you might have heard of the pit mine that Cal Portland wants to build there. So they had a hearing last month. Lisa was there. She managed to completely exclude us from any committees that commented on it. But as you can see, we're pretty familiar with the proposal, more familiar than she was. We have the appeal next week. at the County Board of Supervisors. It's at 2 p.m., not 7 p.m., in Bakersfield. And so we'll be there. We'll be sharing our concerns with the project. We have a pretty long list that goes along with this proposal. We're really concerned about the roads out there, the Joshua trees they've already plowed over, the dust and the debris that it's going to create, the wildlife that are going to get displaced, the air quality out there. So if you guys have any concerns that we can take with us and share, we'll have folks on hand that can help share those concerns. And we'd love to see you there and join us and let the county know that this is not the kind of project that we want next door to us. So this is right across the street from our house. It's less than 1,000 feet. We have 3 other neighbors that are less than 1,000 feet from this project as well. A lot of folks use that road, Mojave Tropico Road, going to Tehachapi. It was recently repaved in tar and chip, but if you guys have been up by the Soledad mine, you've seen what those haul trucks do to that road, and it's pretty severe, and they're going to be running 70 trucks a day.
Is this your proposal or their proposal?
No, this is all of the county's documents
Okay.
regarding it.
Who's
So
that?
it's our material that we've submitted as well, and it's their material contained in there. There's some really good reports from environmental scientists in here that discuss appropriate biological surveys that were not actually conducted on the site. So they kind of went through, and checked boxes and didn't actually do it. And it's pretty disappointing. So again, if you have any questions or you want to take a look at stuff,
Now, do you
happy to
guys
chat
have your
with
own
you.
proposal?
Thank you very much.
What's that?
Do you have your own proposal?
We filed an appeal against their proposal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Anybody else?
My name is Henry Thorne. I'm the County Sheriff, CSU. You were talking about a lot of
We
people.
got a car,
A lot of people don't know what's going on in Roseman. The events that take place in Roseman. Now, I was in Ridgecrest yesterday, and Ridgecrest has a few signs, electronic signs that are posted up on the main boulevard. And they tell everything that's going on in Ridgecrest from, say, January until February or March. All events. Any businesses open, any businesses closing, stuff like that. Roseman is growing. Roseman needs to have something in place like that. Okay? What it would cost, I don't know. I'm a taxpayer. So,
Chamber.
No, let him speak.
Yes.
so, that's what I wanted to say. And also, on February 8th at 6:00 p.m. at Sweeter Hangar, Guido's, crime prevention from Bakersfield PD is coming out. Anybody in here who's a business owner or who's concerned about what's going on in the community here in Roseman. The vandalism, people breaking windows for the heck of it, just to hear glass break, or going into the drugstore and steal stuff. Every time someone breaks, we pay higher prices because the insurance company raises their policy, so they gotta raise their prices, besides inflation. So, okay, so they're coming out and they're going to, I guess they're gonna teach people how to better protect themselves, how to eliminate some of the things that go on. I mean, we do know that we have fewer deputies out here. But in time, that's going to change, because I know that we have new deputies. So
Thank you very
where they're
much.
going to go, I don't know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That was February the 8th at what time?
6 p.m.
Yeah, Guido. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Erica Chavez. I moved to Rosamond early last year from big city LA, and I lived in the Inland Empire as well. And I just found out about this through the Neighbors app, and I just read some posts about skate park. Kind of unrelated, but I figured I'd come check the meetings out and kind of throw it out there that I would really like a dog park. That's it. I don't know if that's what this meeting is for, but I'll play over here for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's my question, my project. Nothing there.
Anybody else? All right.
I'm George Adamo. It's the first time I've been to this meeting. We've got vacant property next to me. I moved to Rosamond in 2010. At that time, when the off-roaders came around my house driving me nuts, I could call the sheriff. He'd be over there in 5 minutes and chase them off. The private property belongs to somebody that I cannot get in touch with, even though I went to the Bakersfield tax office and got his name. I talked to a business associate of his. I wanted permission to post his property if he wasn't willing to spend the money. I still have the same ongoing problem, only I can't even get a sheriff to come up there. Illegal dumping, illegal off-roading, non-licensed vehicles racing up and down Roxbury Street. So I call CHP, and you know that there's never a car available so that he can catch them in the act. So now I'm told I need to get physical, photos to prove what I'm telling them is true, which is BS, to tell you the truth.
No,
Because if the cop will confront him, he'll admit to it. So I'm really pissed off. I love Rosamond, but that's the only problem I've got, and I've had it since 2010. And illegal dumping, there was a bunch of furniture dumped right by my house. I didn't clean it up because I figured it's gonna happen again. The real estate agent selling the house 2 houses down from me had it done because it was detrimental to her sale, making her sale. So there needs to be a little more patrolling going on and enforcement on off-road vehicles.
Have you heard the term, you're speaking to the choir? Deputies, and we're working. That's my goal. That's one of the reasons I got on the board, is to address the public safety.
Before I didn't get this from the sheriff, he said,
Anybody else from the audience? Moving on. Anything else from the current county sheriff?
George here is joining the sheriff's department from CSU. Probably gonna end up being my next trainee.
I haven't gotten the package yet.
It doesn't look like we have anybody from the highway patrol, the fire department. Carlos from Assemblyman Lackey's office?
Carlo, yeah. Carlo Basile from Assemblyman Tom Lackey's office. It's a new district in the assembly. Oh, okay. Where's my mark?
Right there.
Anyway, I'm from Hollywood. They always use that. I just wanted to say the assemblyman is here. It's a new district, and he might not be here as often. Obviously, we've been getting problems about him traveling around. It is a huge district. We were just talking about that. It includes 29 Palms, Barstow, Zig, Mount Fraser, and what else there? So you get an idea. It's big, territorial-wise, so he's got to scoot around. When he comes in on the weekends, he has to do some real fast moving just to get 1 or 2 events. But just to get down to the legislation, somebody came up with an idea for legislation. Please send me an email. I got cards. I will leave them here on the desk. I'll leave them back there in the desk. This is the time to have legislative ideas. If you have an idea, or if you have a rule change, something that you want the assemblyman to work on, this is the time to do it. We have until the 21st of February, but the earlier the better. All right? So that way the legislative guys could look at it. It's only one guy, but he could look at it for how to word it, how to frame it, maybe find some co-authors. because there's always some good ideas. Somebody just came up with an idea about maybe pushing for some Tesla charging stations here along the highway. All right, it's an idea. Let's shoot it up the line and see if we can get it. Because the Assemblyman is, this is legislative news, Assemblyman is on like 6 committees and about 5 subcommittees. The committees that he's on include public employment and retirement, arts, sports, leisure, and internet media security. I like wow, the title's long. He also is on a budget committee, which is important, probably because he has seniority in the legislature now. And he's on the subcommittee budget for public safety. He's also on the elections committee. He's on the governmental organization committee, the Inland Empire Caucus, because remember, part of his district is Victorville, Big Bear, 29 Palms. So he's moving into the Inland Empire. And the legislative ethics. The subcommittees are interesting. He's on a subcommittee for the Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2028. They're coming. Also on the Committee on Police Reform, Subcommittee on Police Reform, Subcommittee on Development of Inland Empire, Subcommittee on the Communications and the Law Enforcement together. Otherwise, so that's it for the legislative amount. I do have some announcements about events. I go around the neighborhood. I am a field representative and I go to other meetings. I want to let you know, one of the meetings I go to are mostly veteran meetings. Veteran affairs are warming up. Vietnam Vet Month is March. They will be having a Vietnam Vet event in Palmdale, but I'm sure it'll be open to you guys. I will leave this flyer in the back also. The phone number is a little difficult to read. There is a QR code, but that's why I'm leaving you the physical copy, so you can still read the phone number, all right? Okay. And that's in March 18th.
What is the phone number?
The phone number for the March 18th event is 661-627-7825. 661-627-7825. Now the other events, I'm not quite sure about the phone numbers, but it's coming up in a couple of Saturdays. There will be a Veterans Outreach event at Grace Chapel Church in Lancaster. That's the one on 15th Street near K Avenue. 15th Street West near K Avenue. It is from 10 to 3 in the afternoon. It's a pretty long event. It is a pretty comprehensive event. What they do is they invite all the vets to come out and check out services. They will have VSOs, those are veteran service officers from the VA. They will have people from the county themselves, people who can register veterans as they've come out of the service, and also who could help vets that have been out for a while. Also, there's a whole list and a whole litany of companies, service providers, vendors from Mental Health America to LA County that will be there. That's the reason why I'm saying is a lot of them are county issues, but there will be VA officers also that would help out with people who live up here in Kern County. And I haven't heard of any events like this in Kern. This is why I'm bringing it up. There is also going to be, talking about Lancaster, there's going to be a history lesson on the Wreaths Across America. It's a program, that's a nationwide program that's been organized for quite a few years, and they're coming out to tell more about their story. Usually we don't hear about it so much because only a few cemeteries participate in this. It's laying Christmas wreaths at Christmas time on certain cemeteries. But it's a great outing for homeschool kids. That's where I was thinking it was going. It's on the 24th of this month. It's in the middle of the week. But the information will be in the back. It's also an early morning. It's like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're bringing out a van, a trailer actually, and they're going to give out the history of the Wreaths Across America. Something a little more informative than the normal talk that you get when you go to those. Because Usually I went to the last one and it was freezing. It's pretty quick. It was like, all right, we speaking, 5 minutes are up, let's go lay them down. All right, I have a lot of information. I hope I didn't overrun the time.
Okay,
I know I did.
The Veterans Administration Chapel, you said?
Yes.
Is what day?
4th
What
of
day?
February. 4th of February. There is no flyer for that one.
Okay.
4th of February,
From
10 to 3.
Yeah, 10 to 3.
Okay. Open to all veterans, obviously. I mean, even though most of the services are in the county, are for the county, it is open to all veterans. Worst comes to worst, you could have a nice lunch down there. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Laura Lynn?
Good evening. My name is Laura Lynn Wyatt. I'm the District Director for Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner. I do handle most of East Kern, and once in a while I have to go to Taft and Fraser Park. But for the most part, I'm in Roseman, Mojave, Boron, Cal City, Tehachapi. It's kind of my little territory. I'm here every month at Rmac, and I do also attend the chamber luncheons and other community events within Rosemont. So I just wanted to introduce myself in case there were a few people in the audience that didn't know who I was and why I was here. So I want to touch on a couple of updates specifically to Rosemont. We have a lot of projects going throughout District 2 this year. We're going to be very, very busy. One of the projects that's going on right now is, if you've been down Diamond Street, you'll notice the construction. Years ago, through RenewBiz grants, there were solar lighting, benches, different ballard lighting at the corners. Artificial turf was placed at the corners, and that at the time was the latest and greatest. And artificial turf has proven to be, frankly, a maintenance nightmare. Okay, weeds grow up through it. Dogs still relieve themselves like it's real grass. It just ended up being a nightmare. The wiring was stolen out of the lighting. It was stolen out of the irrigation system. So this project is all about better maintenance, low maintenance landscaping and low maintenance approach. And that ultimately saves staff time and taxpayer dollars. So we will be pouring brand new curbing. In replacing the artificial turf will be stamped concrete. So if there is some kind of a mess, it's easily just hosed off, right? So that should be completed. That's a $300,000 project slated to be completed in March. So there's that. So no good deed goes unpunished, right? So I plaster it all over social media that we're starting this project, and every comment is, well, what about this other street? So, you know, I mean, you try. So it's going to be very inconvenient, but popular demand. Roseman Boulevard will be repaved this summer from State Route 14 to Stevenson, right? Correct. Yes. Stevenson. In the chamber meeting, I do not live in Rosemont. I apologize. I do know the community very well, but I know the main streets and the number, and I didn't know that little street, so Lisa had to help me out with Stevenson. So that is going to happen this summer, so you expect some delays, but it is a needed project, right? So that's happening. The pool. We're working on the pool. You can see that the decking is all demolished. Most of the work that's happening at the pool, this is a $1 million project, and most of it has to do with accessibility compliance. Okay? The restrooms have to be redone, the decking needs to be redone. The access walkways from the parking lot to the pool, they weren't elevated correctly for ADA compliance. So those have been ripped out. They're pouring them so that the degree of incline is such that it can be accessible by all. That intent is that pool will be open this summer, and that is still on track. if I had some wood to knock on, we're planning on opening it this summer, okay? I will keep you guys posted. There were 44 illegal dumping sites, and I heard this gentleman speak about it. I'll talk to you after the meeting. There were 44 sites just within District 2 cleaned up in 1 month. 44. Total, I thought this was interesting. For 2022, in District 2, there were 1,507 illegal dump sites cleaned up.
How many?
1,507 for 2022. There were 2 encampments cleaned up in Rosemont. One was on Desert Street and one was on Diamond. Somebody mentioned a skate park. So yes, money is there. There is $600,000 allocated for a new skate park that will be in the park off of Glendower, the Rosemont Park on Glendower. It is in design phase. A lot of you may have seen a press release that went out back in May of 2022. There is almost $9 million of improvements going into parks within District 2. That is spread out. That includes Fraser Park. That includes Boron, Mojave, but it also includes Rosemont. And of that, $600,000 has been budgeted for a skate park. That is a substantial budget for a skate park. You will be probably getting between 5,000 and 6,000 square foot park. It will be all concrete and it is in design phase. So I hear a lot of chatter that, you know, the press release went out in May and I haven't seen any dirt move. Well, there's a lot of work that has to happen behind the scenes before we can move dirt. You have to do soils testing. You have to do drainage, right? Where's water going to go? And we don't get a lot of water, but we do get some, so we have to be concerned about that. But it is in design phase, and we are engaging the local skaters and the local community in that design. And its contractor is with Push Parks. They're out of San Diego, and they have done skate parks all over the world. They have an excellent reputation. They already did the design, the first design meeting in Boron, and I will tell you, it is a blast. The kids have so much fun because the designers are skaters and they speak their language. I sat there, I didn't know what they were talking about. They wanted a rainbow rail. I don't know what a rainbow rail is, but the designers know, and they engage with the community, and it's really, really exciting. So we're starting that, and we'll keep you updated, and unless there's any questions for me, I think I'm over my 3 minutes, which I always do, I'm sorry, but we're busy, we're doing a lot of stuff, so it's hard to squeeze it into 3 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
I think this goes along with something the gentleman mentioned. How do I find out when these other meetings are held? Or like the design meeting, besides the Neighbors Ups, or like an official place where I can?
So Lisa is the park sort of liaison on this board. And then there's a community member that reached out to me over 3 years ago. His name is Jesus. He's also a skater, and he is being involved in the process. We're kind of doing a little bit of an invite only at this time, because when you're in an interactive workshop, right, you don't want 100 people in the room because it just goes sideways. Nothing's accomplished. So we're trying to keep it to maybe 10 to 20 people at the most, and we're trying to keep it to youth that actually are going to use the park, right? So if but you're more than welcome. It's going to be on the 26th of this month at 6 p.m. in this room.
Was your question just about the skate park, or finding out about all these other meetings in general?
That too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the chamber has a website and they post on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so the chamber has a page on Facebook, Rmac has a page on Facebook, the county does, I do, Supervisor Scrivener does. That's where we post the majority of our meeting announcements. one of the strategic planning goals of RMAC is to try to come up with some other ways to engage and inform. So, you know, if you have another idea, you know, we kind of struggle with this, right? Because no matter how much, short of walking a neighborhood and knocking on everyone's door, how do you reach everyone, right? It's a constant battle, and we try very hard to announce everything. If you have, like you said, if you have another idea, Dave brought up maybe putting something in the water bill. Maybe RMAC can work with the CSD to try to put a little calendar out or something. But any ideas would be very helpful. Appreciate it. Yeah. Jack.
You mentioned anything about the restrooms that would never work. There was discussion of redoing them. Heard anything on that?
It's $600,000 for a park restroom. Right now, that is not budgeted. So I do not have an update on that right now.
There's porta potties.
Dave?
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't get to it. Can we find out why the county doesn't use the Quimby Act on new subdivisions going in where they can collect money for parks and recreation?
Yes, we can. That is a
I know I'm
question.
asking why they don't.
Yes, I understand your question. Yes, is the answer. We can find out why they don't. And that is a question for Lorelei Olviot, who is the director of the planning department at the county. And maybe we can get her here as a guest speaker at some point, or maybe we can just shoot her an email with that question. Absolutely.
And did you ever find out why the county doesn't use California Conservation Corps? Has anybody ever answered that question?
I have not had a chance to get the answer to that question for you yet. I know it's a question that you want an answer to. Yes, ma'am.
So businesses and urban planning, do you guys do that as well for Rosamond?
We have a strategic plan.
There's a strategic plan, but as Dave pointed out, it is on the county website. It is very, very old, and it was done prior to a major budget crisis and has not been redone since. So at this time, the answer to your question is no, but I know the planning department has a lot of grants and things that they look at all the time. They're constantly trying to apply to help businesses and attract businesses to the county. They just launched a video that's a campaign to try to attract investors and companies coming to Kern County as a whole. Anything else? Yes, sir.
While we were spending money and getting grants, you think maybe we could get a sheriff in here?
So, yes, I understand your question and I understand your frustration because I'm frustrated also. Measure K passed. I don't know if everybody in the room came to the tax workshop. I personally learned a lot about how sales tax works. I have been on many government councils. I've been elected and appointed for many, many years. And I guess I had my head in the sand because I never understood that Kern County's 7.25% all went to Sacramento first. And 1.25% comes back to the county. That's it. Now this is a local control measure. So now we will get 2.25%. They're estimating that that's going to generate $54 million per year more into the budget. And public safety is number one. That being said, you know that every single county department is going to be going before the Board of Supervisors with their hand out, right? It's going to be very, very competitive. But public safety is the public safety measure. So public safety is going to be number one.
Could I say one thing here?
Thank you.
We as volunteers, we would do a lot more patrolling in this community. We don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, we have to drive our personal vehicles to Mojave to pick up police vehicles to do this.
15 miles.
You need to take that up with Mr. Youngblood.
That's 30 miles. And with the gas prices, it's hard for me to get my staff to go up there.
I understand completely. That all falls under the jurisdiction of Sheriff Youngblood. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Sorry to talk so long.
Chamber.
Chamber. All right, I'm Jack Miller, Roseman Chamber of Commerce, Vice President. Right here we have Gene Melchers. He's our President of the Chamber of Commerce. Raise your hand, Gene. Great guy. Love having him. I got some update because we haven't had a meeting here since. The parade was actually, I believe, the largest attendance parade we've ever had. It was an amazing parade. We had the most participants of any parade that we've had in the past. It was huge. It was packed from one end to the other of the street. Really good turnout. Sorry Tom couldn't make it. I know he was involved in the high-end politics there, but tell him we missed him. Okay. And along with that project was the toy drive. And we raised, what, about $6,000?
Over $6,000.
Over $6,000 in toys that we gave away. Huge success. And so that was really a great event. We hope we can match or do better next year. And so we're looking forward to that. Today we had our chamber meeting. As you know, we changed formats from being in here to having a monthly luncheon at Guido's. And it's been the best thing we've ever done. The networking with the businesses that are showing up has just been phenomenal. I know this month was a little light. Didn't see you there. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Things happen. But there was a lot of people that couldn't make it today. But still, there was a great turnout. And what's so great about the turnout is just the networking and the updates from all the businesses in town, hearing what's really going on the ground is great. Laura's there, Ann Zarley was there today. So everybody got a chance to hear perspectives from all ends of the community. One of the things I stressed, because there was a lot of ideas of events and so forth, and I was trying to get them to work with the chamber because we have more resources that we can help them promote their events with than what a business themselves would be trying to get a permit or something to that effect for a certain event, or finding the right venues. And they seem to be pretty receptive to that. So we're trying to work more with the communities. VFW, they want to do a few events. They joined the chamber. And so we got a lot of events planned for this year. We're not trying to take on the whole brunt ourselves to where we have ownership. We want the community to have ownership with it as well. So we're trying to get the community entities involved as well and have ownership in these events, and not just so much the Chamber of Commerce, even though we would be one of the coordinating bodies of a lot of these events. So it's been a great turnout. I've gotten a lot of new members to the chamber, and it's really been good meetings. My next topic was just community events in general. We're trying to get more involved, or not involved, but a better network between all the entities in Roseman, to where when we put on events or activities, it's not just us, it's not just you, it's not just them, it's the whole community trying to pull together and put a lot of these events together. So a lot of that includes public safety, so it's not just necessarily a business advertising type event or anything like that. It's also some of the community concerns that we're also working with Rmac with, working with Laura and some of the other entities around the community. It's just that sometimes the chamber has a little more, what's the word I want to use? A little more flexibility to coordinate some things than some other entities might have, even though we're working with them. So it's been a real good partnership. We hope to have real strong partnerships in the future. We'll be giving more updates on those types of activities. Other than that, anybody have any questions for Chamber of Commerce?
So your luncheons are on the same day as our meeting?
Same day as your meeting at noon at Guido's. And the turnout has been really good. Barbara Gaines been showing up. She didn't show up today. A lot of people didn't show up today. I think I know why. The XPD is kind of kicking it. Yeah. But you were there. I know.
She said that's all that matters.
We talked about that earlier. So, and then I wanted to talk to CSU before we leave, because I had a request today, and I want to see if I can coordinate something with them. So,
Jack, second annual Easter egg hunt.
yes, ma'am.
The county and the chamber are gonna go ahead and put that on with the VFW?
Is that a VFW? Well,
The VFW did it last year.
I still gotta get with Robert and get a meeting with the chamber board on our next meeting if we can, or at least somebody under Robert.
Auxiliary, hold it.
And, well, I know Robert has some
Yes,
personal
he wants to
projects,
yep.
so I'd rather go through him, and then we can all discuss it and coordinate some stuff. Because I know the VFW needs a new roof,
Yes.
and so they need to raise some funds as well as everybody else. So we're trying to help the VFW with some events to raise money for the roof. So it's these types of events that we can co-op and coordinate together to help the community in general.
And the Moose Lodge needs new doors, because they keep getting broken into, so we're coordinating the bank, so I'll pull you in on that.
Yeah, so the more we can pull that together as a full community event, then the more impact we're gonna have for the cause. Okay?
All right, thank you, Jack. It doesn't look like anybody from the school board or Edwards is here, so we don't have a guest speaker tonight.
Now, usually, we've been having a report from a guy that is involved with responsible use of water. I know it was left off, but he sent a report.
Oh, did he? Oh, did you have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is from Randy Scott, who used to be in charge of plans and programs at Edwards. For those of you who know Randy, I don't know if you are aware, but his wife passed recently. So if you see him around, condolences. Okay, he says his report is as follows. As I imagine, you are all began on October 1st of 2022. That's the beginning of the water year. So far, the precipitation levels are following the curve of one of the wettest years on record. As of January 17th, 2023, just a couple days ago, overall in the state, we are at 169% of normal average at this time. And locally, here in the Antelope Valley, we are at 212% of the normal average at this time. We knew it was wetter, we didn't know by how much. Reservoir levels throughout the state are up considerably. Many are above their historical average for this time of year, although the San Luis Reservoir, from which we get most of the state water project aqueduct water in this area, is at 67% of its historical average, so they're a bit behind with that one. The snowpack ranges from 202% of normal for this date in the north, and 292% of the normal for this date in the southern Sierras, with the overall state average at 246 of normal for this year. Even with all this rain, Randy emphasizes, and snowfall, the water operations manager for the state water project is quoted as saying, "These storms have not ended the drought. Major reservoir storage remains below average, and conditions could turn dry again this winter, offsetting recent rain and snow." So the point is that even though we've had a lot of moisture lately, we ain't out of the woods yet, but we're heading in the right direction. I suppose we need to take that up to God, who's in charge of the rainfall and snowfall, but I digress. Therefore, we hope that we get more rain and snow this water year. But of course, not all at once, for a change. So as not to get more flooding and storm damage, and that's the end of his report. So I'll pass along that we presented this, and he regrets not being here.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Okay. All right. So going to new business, approving the minutes from October 20th and November 17th. Do I have a motion to approve the October 20th?
I will make a motion for the October.
I would second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? All right. And then, can we get a motion for approving the November 17th?
Down in your minutes.
I mean, sorry, the November 17th, 2022. Sorry.
I will make a motion to accept them.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Kelly abstains.
Both pass. And there's no other old business, new business. Approving the bylaws. I have a motion to approve our bylaws.
Where is that?
Where's that?
Yeah.
It's already in the minutes.
It's already in the minutes.
It's in the
We've already approved
It's
them.
that's right, we approved those.
They're
I'm
going
sorry.
in front of the supervisors.
I'm sorry.
So the director's comment, referrals and comments.
Any directors have any comments?
Well, that does bring up a good point. If the supervisors vote to approve it, and I can't see a reason why they wouldn't, it's probably on the consent agenda, I would imagine. Does that change our meeting time next month?
Yes, sir.
So we need to go on record as saying and emphasizing that the meetings will start at 6 instead of 7,
If the bylaws are adopted.
if the bylaws are adopted.
Got it.
If they are adopted, I noticed there's a new box on the side of the building.
Yeah, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I already had my 3 minutes, but I failed to mention, you guys will notice that there's a new locking bulletin board on the exterior of this building that was graciously donated to Rmac by ED, thank you. I almost had the initials wrong. EDF Renewable through a contact through Linda Parker. So please, if you see anybody from there, please thank them for that. And I will be coordinating with Kelly to get him a key to that so that the agendas will and any announcements will be posted within that bulletin board. Thank you.
Okay, well, what I was thinking of was, at a minimum, we could do, you could probably do it, but like a one-page thing that says, Rmac meetings are now at 6 instead of 7.
Absolutely.
So that anybody that happens by that would see it, at least it would be posted.
Absolutely, and it would be pushed out everywhere that the agendas
Where
were
we get,
posted.
probably a news release from the county.
We will handle that, Dennis.
Should there be any press available?
What if, but we can't do anything until after Tuesday.
And I'm assuming Kelly would also be helping the new members, including yourself, get business cards?
I have a list of things I have to order.
She needs to order me a name tag, so you know who I am.
They need a nameplate. You did? Oh, thanks, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
What a
Something's
guy.
off my list. That's a
What a
miracle.
All right, Dennis.
Yeah, well, one of the questions I had was, Lisa, if you can't make an EDC meeting, because you mentioned being out of state or something, do you have an alternate?
An alternate would be lovely. Are you-
So that's a no?
I know, I have not had an alternate. So an
Okay.
alternate would be nice.
I have a
Does
fairly,
anybody want to be an alternate?
so I do have fairly available, like, I have a lot of freedom over my schedule for work, and I'm.
So alternate?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, thank you.
Dennis, anything else?
Yeah, I've been on the RMAC since its inception. This organization used to be called the Town Council, very poor name for a civic club. You had to make out an application, pay dues, be voted. It was a club. And when I first started attending, they asked me to be on it and then to be the chairman. And I went to the supervisor and we talked about how can we make this a more viable organization, and now we have the Rosemont Municipal Advisory Council. And the idea here is to keep a two-way communication going between the county and our community. We're a long way from the county seat, and we feel really left out in the cold. So it's a two-way communication conduit tool. So, and I've been on it, well, at least 15, close to 16 years, isn't it?
It's been in force now for 16 years. Yeah.
16 years. You
served about 11, 12 years.
So, if any of you want to be a part of the system, let me encourage you, talk to Laura Lynn tonight about finding out how to apply. We have a vacancy, and quite frankly, I'm getting kind of long in the tooth myself. I don't know, I've had some health issues lately. I'm kind of tossing that around myself. This is getting harder to do. Okay, so, but I would encourage you to be part of the solution and not just part of the problem, okay? And it's rewarding. And when you get those business cards, feel free to hand them out liberally and tell people that if they find or think of some way to help make Rosamond a better place to live and work, to contact you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Kelly?
Yeah, so I actually have a question for Laura Lynn. Regarding like the Gem Hill project, my family owns a property 3 streets away. I have to abstain from that, right?
I would suggest that, yes.
Okay.
I think legally, maybe not. That's something, Chrissy, could you hear that question?
I just heard something about abstaining, but I'm not
I'll
sure
ask
about
her.
the specifics.
Okay, hold on, Kelly has a legal question.
Hi, Christy. This is Kelly Carden. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. So regarding the Gem Hill project, my family has a couple plots of land about 3 streets away from it. Would it be recommended that I abstain from any conversation with that?
So your only connection is that your family owns land close to it?
Yeah, it's like across the street, but I mean, I have a financial interest in it, of course.
Oh, you do? Okay, then yes, it would be appropriate to abstain.
Perfect, thank you. Just wanted to make sure before I said anything else.
Now, he could attend meetings and get information, correct?
Yeah, we can attend meetings, but I mean, obviously, since there's a financial interest, you have to abstain.
Okay. And then secondly, I think it's important, if anyone's interested, we do get a seat at the table in the oversight committee for the sales tax, so they haven't selected those seats yet, have they?
No, so I can elaborate on that. So, for the sales tax, the county is doing a citizens advisory committee for Measure K. That responsibility of that committee is to basically ensure that the funds are being utilized within the parameters of the intent of the sales tax measure, right? And it's a public safety measure, so they want to hold the county accountable and say, are these funds being used correctly? It's going to be a very difficult and lengthy decision for Supervisor Scrivener, and probably Supervisor Peters as well. We were informed that each supervisor gets 1 person.
Jeez. And it has to be an unelected person.
It can't be staff, and it cannot be an elected official. So it couldn't be anybody that's on RMAC, it can't be me. It has to be a resident of District 2. Well, you guys understand how big District 2 is, right? So how do you choose 1 person that's going to thoroughly represent that entire district? It's a tedious task. It's a big decision that I am glad isn't mine. But if anyone is interested in putting their name in the hat, please see me or email me, and I will pass it along to Supervisor Scrivener.
Did we ever find about who our supposed representative is on the Parks and Rec board that nobody's ever seen? Or
Yes, I know who it is, and I've been communicating with them.
Well, Did
Did you have anything else?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
We're talking about it, Dave. We're talking about it.
Okay, so my turn. So I would like to thank Rec Department. Phil, thank you for serving so many years on this board. And these last 4, because I begged you to. I appreciate it very much. Very much so. Are you going to be that one or no? Okay. And welcome new board members.
Thank you.
And old ones.
That's true on several levels. Boys.
Hey, I work for comedians now, so it's rubbing off a little bit.
I just believe it's that self-deprecating humor.
I just wanted to welcome our new board members and thank Director Parkman also for his service.
I second that, and I want to hit the ground running. I'd like to add to our agenda for next month the strategic planning that we submitted.
Absolutely.
I'd like to discuss that and get the ball rolling on that. So I'd like to add that to our agenda. Other than that, thank you for welcoming us, and we look forward to working together and getting a lot accomplished this year. Okay, you guys all right?
So in closing, Carlo and I have certificates of recognition for Mr. Parkman. Mr. Parkman, if you would join us, please. You didn't think you were going to get away with no recognition, did you?
I have my fingers crossed.
Carlo, stage is yours.
Oh,
You
well, Assemblyman Lackey would love to recognize you. Many years of service, all of it in dedication of this community.
Oh, well, you wouldn't
Lots
have
of.
Like I-
We can't thank you enough. Nobody can. The community really is helped and blessed by your presence and your hard work. And for that, we would like to recognize you.
Hey, Carlos, what do you?
Swing over there. Get a photo.
One photo.
Carlo.
I'm gonna have to send you this.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Brennan's is underneath this.
Hi, Bill. I too have a certificate of recognition signed by Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner, and it says to William Parkman, for your years of service on the Roseman Municipal Advisory Council and dedication to the community of Roseman. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. I know it's been a lot of work, a lot of hours. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Just wish it was better looking.
I can't see it past the
Got it?
showers
There you
anyways.
go. Thank you very much.
Any other comments? Do you have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
So moved.
Have a second?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.
So tell me.
But I'm not good at the pictures.
No, I know. You're not good at pictures, but your story is good. So, and this is who? What's his name?
Ryan Melchers.
Ryan Melchers has been invited to India.
He is in India right now.
Okay.
And he's taking part in the celebration of the Indian independence.
Really?
And he was one of 20 Cadet Corps students in the state of California that got invited to go.
Wow. What did he do to get invited?
Well, he just
works hard here.
Did a great job in the Cadet Corps. He's now a second lieutenant, first lieutenant. Second, and he will be promoted to captain sometime in March. So he is excelling.
Does he have his cell phone over there?
Yes, he does.
Have him take some pictures, please.
Well,
and send them here to Rosamond so people will know what's going on.
He was told to take pictures, take a lot of pictures, but
but send them back.
Yeah.
Send them to jjj@rosamondnews.com.
It's expensive to send pictures from India. Poor boy don't have all that money.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost.
It does.
Free.
No, it's not.
Doesn't he have his phone on? I mean,
I understand it costs so much per text.
Oh, I see.
Have a lot of data, so.
I see.
I have not heard from him. He's been there. He left Friday and flew out of San Francisco on Saturday and got to India about 16 hours later. I guess it was a direct flight.
Sure.
Which is unusual. But I guess when Indian country is paying for everything.
Sure. How long will he be over there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Gee, what a great time and a chance to learn about.
Yeah.
And what organization in India invited him? Do you know?
I do not know. Probably the military.
Okay.
The Army, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's good.
And I took my other grandson, Griffin Horner, to Berkeley last week. So he starts his junior year at Berkeley.
And what's his field of study?
Political science. He wants to be
Oh
a
boy.
politician.
We're going to be voting for him soon.
Yeah.
Good, Gene. Well, congratulations. You and Charlene should be very proud of them. You are. Thank you.